And a very good afternoon from Oxleas Woods. Just doing a little walk of Shepherdleas and Oxleas Wood, looking for some tree creepers because I've had some good success here in both of the woods. And just to say, when you get here, if you're a regular, they've put paid parking on the Rochester Way. I am fuming. I don't want to get my account suspended, so I'm not going to swear on camera, but I am fuming. It doesn't even say what it costs, it just says pay by phone. So if you park further west, right towards the end of the woods, there are a couple of slots for a couple of bays that is for 2-hour parking. So I'm making my way back now after a not very long walk. So no joy with the tree creepers. We'll get on to that. Made my way through the wood, very wet and windy. Well, a little bit wet. I came out today because it rained all yesterday, and this was the only sort of 2 or 3 hour slot and break in the wind. As you can see, the sun is coming out, so it's quite nice. I've had to put the umbrella up a couple of times for a bit of drizzle. Made my way into the woods from the western side. I don't think I've been in that end, and just wanted. I'm going anywhere that's new to me, just for a change of scenery. Just keeps it more exciting. Nothing in there. Yeah, I don't think there was. Just some great spotted woodpecker, a couple of them darting about. And on the west side as well, I saw the tree creeper last time. I hung around there, I listened, nothing. Crossed the road, and a couple of jays, which always seem to be on the south side of the Oxleas Wood. I had to focus through branches to get them, but they're always there, good as gold. But this is all working through branches. I mean, this is footage that I wouldn't have bothered with in the past, but now I can easily manually focus through branches. I'm making the use of it. You'll hear a lot of parakeets. I hate them. But there's a lot of big flock of long-tailed tits. So I kept an eye on them, because usually with them, as you know, you'll get goldcrest and possibly firecrest and maybe a chiffchaff. And I got a couple of seconds, I believe, of a goldcrest. Is that a robin? I think so. A couple of seconds of a goldcrest to add to the library. I'm putting as much footage of each bird now into a big stock library. Yeah, so lots of 2 and 3 second clips of the long-tailed tits. I could hear nuthatch, but no joy. Wherever they were doing, they're in the distance and not coming anywhere near me. Now, what I've been lucky with recently are redwing. I don't know why they're so docile. Yeah, these kind of bushes here that have berries. And I just walked and I thought, is that a bird? It was a little brown blotch. And there were 2 of them, and they weren't moving. And so I filmed handheld, as I usually do. And then I set the tripod up. And the only thing I can think that's happening, if someone can correct me, is a bit like, you might have seen these images online of waxwing in Scandinavian countries. They eat these berries and get drunk off of the alcohol in the berries because they're fermented, and they're all lying on the floor. And what happened at Avery Park the other day was, the close footage I got of the redwing was them sitting still and bringing up these pips, these seeds from the berries they'd been eating. And this is the same thing here. So I wonder if it's because whatever's in the berries makes them sit still for long periods until they digest them, and then they can regurgitate them in safety. Their body's under stress because of the toxins in them that their bodies can break down, but they have to stay stationary. A little bit drunk, a little bit dozy because of the toxins or the fermented whatever. I don't know, someone explain to me, that'd be great. So, but they were very, very docile. I've seen them jumping around a bit. Like I said, I've been very, very lucky with redwing. A lot of people haven't had much luck. But if you look closely, they are about, and look on a particular type of bush, look for the berry bushes, and it's very likely you'll see them. Easy to mistake them for blackbirds. So I thought I'd add this. I don't think I'm giving away any secret knowledge here, but a year and a half ago, or even a couple of years ago, there were tawny owls spotted around these parts. I'm not going to say exactly where, but they're on and off spotted in Oxleas Woods at least. And there was a sighting in Shrewsbury Park about 3 years ago where I got some photos. I'll show you those as well. So these local ones I saw a couple of years ago, spotted by a local birder. There were a couple of chicks with it, and it was there for, I believe, 2 days. Now, yeah, I managed to get footage of that well before my YouTube channel, and I have uploaded it before, but I'll put it in this video because today's going to be quite short, so I want to give you something to watch. But like I say, I'm not giving away anything. We've had tawny owls spotted in Lesness Abbey, in woods around Bexley, but nobody ever sees them. You just hear them. So they're obviously just stopping for a moment to do whatever, and then they make their way somewhere else. Again, I'm not giving away any secrets, but I just wanted to show you the footage I took. But one of the regular birders who updates the London wiki page for birds in this area, maybe once every couple of months, there'll be a mention of a tawny owl. Whether he saw it or heard it, I don't know. So it's not really a massive secret. I'm not giving away anything. Again, just being careful here. Yeah, but I'm sure people who live locally might hear them more often. And yeah, so just thought I'd put that in there to bulk up this little video. Good afternoon, folks. A nice, bright, sunny day in Bexley. I didn't want to go too far today. I just wanted to see what my local places had to offer. That is, what is that? I'm just currently in Bexley Wood. I'm just trying to keep the angle away from the sun here. And it's been very, very fruitful. Like I said, I just wanted to stay local and maybe see some goldcrest and firecrest and nuthatch and things like that. It's cold. I didn't want to be wandering around deep into the Kent countryside and be freezing and have to drive all the way home. So I started off at Hall Place. The plan was to do a few different areas, but as per usual, I get caught in one when something shows up. So we started off in a grey Hall Place, and I went into the hide, and the little robins are as friendly as ever, and dogs barking in my video and ruin it as usual. The only problem with some of these places you go to, you're allowed to bring dogs. I had one earlier when I was filming a coal tit, and the dog was right next to me barking away. It's going to be the top reason a lot of birders choose it as their annoyance in the hobby. And I've been told by several people I need to start getting into TikTok. The TOC, is that what the kids abbreviate it to, the TOC? So my sister's been talking to me and just been showing me this channel where somebody feeds birds. And I thought, okay, we can start with that. The unfortunate thing about TikTok is you have to get portrait videos. So if I film something in landscape, it's not going to be appropriate for TikTok, but you could cut off the top and bottom. But I think it's going to work best if I fill it with portrait mode, full frame. So here's what I got. Just a few seconds of one of the robins eating out of my hand. But further round to the south side of Hall Place, with a flock of long-tailed tits, as is always the case, there was a goldcrest or two in there. A few seconds of video of that. And the lighting's really harsh, so it was only a few seconds here, a few seconds there. I did see a single redwing, heard that very distinctive call, and it flew overhead and landed in a tree. I thought because it was on its own, it might be a blackbird, but checked it out, zoomed in, adjusted the exposure, then it was sat right on the top of this tree. This one had a lot of red on it, it did stand out a lot. So I thought as long as we were here, we'll pop round to that area in Danson Park where I saw the redwing and the firecrest to see if they're in the same area, and as well the green woodpecker. But as I drove from Hall Place towards Danson Park, I thought, what about that wood I went to 4 years ago that's around Sidcup, Bexley? And I looked on the map, oh, it's Bexley Wood. So this is where I am now. And you can park on the main road, as you can see. There are no lines here, and people just pull up and bring their dogs. And I'll look up the picture, but years ago when I came here, I think once or twice, I got a picture of a wren with a spider in its mouth. So it was one of my favorite pictures for a couple of years. So the plan was to walk in, just walk up the one side of the path and then come back along the river. And if there's nothing there, just to say I've been there and there's nothing new to see. But then I like to, I like to get out and go to places I haven't been before, because there could be surprises, there could be different bird behaviours, like I've said before, that only happen here, that don't happen in other areas. And I was hoping, as it is a wood, for some coal tit, and I nailed it. There was some coal tit. So it's nice to know I know my stuff. And the usual place to find them is where the houses meet the park and the fence. If people have got feeders out, they'll go to the feeders and they'll come back in to the wood. And there were several coal tit. And as I stood there, I saw them flying back and forth, and I had to lean against trees and put my tripod up to this height to sort of, you know, because they're up in a tree, and to sort of keep my arms up with that. You'll see a bit of shake in the video, as they like to stay really high up, of me trying to hold it underneath them, hold it steady, with a bit of success and sometimes not much success. And there was this one I had to manually focus through the branches because it was calling, and I want that call, I want that song, so that when I do a montage or a compilation of British bird songs, I can include that. And I want to get as many bird songs as possible, because I want the compilation of bird songs and one that helps you identify birds. So just little video ideas. I want to do a bit of everything. It's lots of different. Yeah, I'm gonna start with how to ID British birds on the you know, how they look, their description, their appearance. Keep it simple, and at the end maybe start off with the simple birds and then go on to the ones that you might see, you know, you might be lucky enough to see in your garden or in local parks. And then one day we might go crazy deep into the plumages of sanderlings and dunlins and little stints and all sorts of craziness, when I know my stuff, because I'm still getting that wrong and I don't want to embarrass myself. In the same area as the coal tits, I stood still, and I know that song, and I could hear what I thought was Goldcrest, and it was Goldcrest. And a couple of them came out a couple of seconds, had a look around, and then went back into the trees. And as I was standing there waiting for more coal tits to arrive, I saw a little brown bird, too small to be a robin, fly off to the right into a bush, and focused in on it, and a firecrest as well. So we got coal tits, Goldcrest and firecrest. And this wasn't like the Danson Park one. I tried, I struggled. I maybe got 1 second here, 1 second there. It was really hard. It was doing the flying thing, but yeah, I couldn't keep track of it. And especially in a wood where it's much easier when the sun is away, but it was coming out while the sun was out. So you had these constant huge differences in exposure, which I couldn't account for as it was jumping around. And sometimes I was zoomed too far in and I should have been zoomed out. So when it moved out of frame, I didn't see where it went. But it's nice to know those three birds together by the houses on the eastern side. And I heard behind me woodpeckers and nuthatch, and I thought, well, I get those as well, but at least I know they're here. And as I moved around to the southern end of the wood, sure enough, nuthatch jumped out on the trees above me, started feeding. I think they were as well going into people's gardens, because they were going into the house and estate and coming back out. I don't know if they were feeding or just collecting nesting material, but there were a pair. And yeah, apart from it being right above my head and the sun coming out and giving me really a hard time on the exposure, but I got some decent views, pretty close with the lens. What it was doing, sometimes when they landed above me, I'd sort of left my tripod and walked back to steady myself on a tree, making quite a lot of racket in the process, but they didn't move, which was good. And then to sort of round it off, I was just setting up to talk into the camera to get the vlog done, and I saw a flash of white, and I looked above me, and it was a great spotted woodpecker. Again, not a direct view. You can see it was partially hidden by bits of twig, bits of branch, and shaky footage because I'm holding, my bag is pulling me back, and I've got my arms up trying to hold steady the camera. can still hear the nuthatch going. What was it? Parakeets. Plenty of parakeets. I don't think there'll be anything too unusual in a wood like this. I might hope for a sparrowhawk. It might be a buzzard. I don't know. It would take a local to say something. My birding group, Bexley Birders, I never hear anybody coming in here. So I'll mention what I've seen today on there and tell them it's worth a little day out. Yeah, I can see, yeah, there's lots of stuff flying around. You can hear the song. There are plenty of birds in here. You know, you got the sort of 5 interesting birds of the wood: the great spotted woodpecker, nuthatch, goldcrest, firecrest, coaltit. Yeah, can't ask for more than that. You're not going to really get any surprises in a place like this, but a nice day out otherwise. But yeah, Bexley has lots to offer. But it's a bit cold now. I'm starting to shiver. So I think it's where I was going to give it till about 3:30, close to sunset. I'm done now. I'm quite happy with what I've got. So yeah, come down and give Bexley Woods a try. A bird having a bath, I'll go see what it is. And hope you enjoy, folks.